I just want to say that one of the things that I think drew people in to begin with was that we started out by saying we would be a church of outreach. We wanted to get into the community and be active in the community with different places that needed to have support. I think that was the drawing card. A lot of these smaller churches were insular. They took care of themselves, and we saw there were so many needs. We started with the food bank and helped to bring groceries over from Chattanooga, and that helped the men who were doing it to draw closer together. As we engaged in these outreach programs, we came to know each other better. That, I think, is what helped us to keep going.
I mean, that seems like that is your, I mean, for me, as a new member, that seems like that is your vision.
We are out there.
You're out there.
Yes, we are.
Service and reaching out to those in need in the community.
Yes.
That just seems like, from the very beginning, it sounds like that was important
That was
to you.
from the beginning, is that when you attended, you became one of us, and we expected you to do what we were doing and to give your input. And we listened to what people had to say.
Yes, and as small as we were, everyone was participating.
Yes.
That was an incredible part, the
I-
participation.
I looked at some of the percentages, and the folks who were on our list, our average attendance was like 75% of those people. And it never went down.
Wow.
And every study that we did, people who came, and that was a high percent too, were prepared. Isn't it a teacher's ideal to come into a class, a group of people who have done their homework, and it was just accepted because people were that excited and that interested in knowing what God's plan was for us.
And leading those groups was a pleasure because the group did the leading by sharing their opinions of what they had studied before they got there.
Wow.
And having simplified all of our worship, not having a lot of things because we had to transport them in and out, was something that these old people who had all the, the tradition and the church with all the stuff, we found that we could worship God very, very well without all that stuff. The first year or two, we took turns providing flowers, and then we realized we don't have to have flowers. And so we were able to do a lot more mission-oriented things because we were not putting a lot of money into our operation.
So the focus kind of changed?
It just strengthened, is what I'd say.
Maybe energized?
Yeah.
Did you encounter any difficulties, like in the community or among yourselves? Was there any, I mean, it didn't sound like everyone was 100% in favor of moving here, but are there any difficulties that you encountered?
I think that this group as a whole has listened to what the majority has to say, and perhaps they are not as much in favor of it, but they are willing to go along with it. I think that's the thing that has kept us united.
Yes.
Even if you have a differing opinion, you listen to what the majority has to say, and you recognize the need to go ahead with that.
We also found that a lot of the people that from the other churches that came to us expecting to find, looking for a church that had an outreach. And so it wasn't a matter of so much of newness for them, but more likely what they were looking for. Mm-hmm. And I remember talking to one person, and they had become dissatisfied with the church that just took care of themselves and from Sunday to Sunday, and wanted something more than that. So we were there for that.
So they kind of sought you out in a way, and you were welcoming to them.
Yes,
So it was
yes.
it was a good match.
Yeah, well, there you go.